Today we're going to talk about how to enable advanced functions on Canon copiers that have finishing units that enable things like stapling, hole punching, folding, or making little booklets. And so to do that, we're going to start by getting the right driver, because if you just have a standard whatever driver for the copier, it might be smart enough to know how to do double-sided printing, but it probably won't even realize there's a beautiful world of folding and stapling and hole punching out there for you to discover. So step one is we're going to go get that right driver. So to do that, we're going to open a web browser. And clearly I've done this once before, but we're just going to take the steps together. So in your Google search, you're going to type in Canon UFR2 printer driver. Now ours is a 5850i. I'm just going to type in 5850, good enough. Okay, so that looks like a different one. Ours is it's a 5850i. We'll just drag the I on there. There we go, that looks more correct. So we're gonna click on that one. Accept cookies, yum yum. Scroll down a bit. You can do a quick reality check. If that's what the middle of your copier looks like, you're probably on track. So basically, your copier probably has extra stuff to the left and the right, which is what enables the cool features of this driver we're going to look at. But just make sure the middle looks generally the same. We're going to go to Software and Drivers. Make sure your OS is correct. I am on a Mac, so that's right. And then check your Mac OS version. I'm actually on Mac OS Sequoia 15, which is up here. Chances are whatever it detects is okay, but if you have a new Mac and you keep it updated, just pick the newest one. Pick whichever one's at the top there. Scroll down a bit, and you're going to choose the UFR2 driver, this guy right here. Basically, you're picking the newest UFR2 driver. If you keep going down, you'll probably see another one, slightly older, 27th. This one, wow, this one was updated like very recently, so that's nice. So you're going to go ahead and hit download. And remember, this is what enables the magic here. This is what makes it happen. So we're going to click, because if you pick one of these other drivers, you could print, you could probably even do double-sided, but they won't enable the special functions like folding and stapling. So you're going to click on it in your little downloads list, and then it's going to show up. And as you can see, I've clicked on this file once or twice. So my downloads folder is just full of them. But basically, if it gives you a zip file, and you double click on the zip file, it'll extract by itself and it'll give you the DMG file. That's what you want. We have a bunch of these, so I'm just going to pick this one. Normally there wouldn't be a bunch, there'd just be one. Double click on that. It's going to open this window. Double click on that. It's going to open this window. And the package right here, you're going to double click on that. So much double clicking. And then you're going to walk through this whole thing. You just hit continue, continue, agree. Now, I'm not clicking install because clearly I've installed this software before, so you need to continue clicking through all the steps, but I already did that. So we're going to cancel this because we've already done it. I'm going to show you how to add the copier. So what we're going to do is go to your printer settings area. So what I like to do is use Spotlight, which if you hit Command Space on your Mac, Command Space, it'll open this little search bar. If you're using a Windows keyboard with a Mac, push Windows key space instead. Command space or Windows key space, open Spotlight. And now we're going to type in printers. Give it a second, and it's going to give you some nice recommendations. For instance, the printer settings menu or 1,000 pixelated printer icons. Printers and scanners with the settings is what we want, so we click on that. And here is all of these printers. I am an avid collector, as you can see. What we're going to do is we're going to add a new printer right here. And then we're going to select from the list. So basically, this part, I'm assuming that you're on the same Wi-Fi network that the printer is hooked up to. If you're not on the same Wi-Fi network as the printer, that's a different problem in a different tutorial video. So just assuming you're on the same network and the printer is on, it should show up in the list. In our case, this is the one we want to install right here. Ours is a 5850, and for some reason it says 5250. Doesn't matter. We're going to name it something fun like the coolest printer. I know, right? It folds and copies and staples. This doesn't matter. Just name it something so you remember which printer this is so it doesn't get lost in a menu like this. because we generally don't memorize model numbers. So then you can even drop a location in there, like workroom. And then this is important, we're choosing a driver. So we're not doing auto select because it'll just pick a driver and it'll be like, this one's great. And the driver will work, but it'll just be double-sided and it won't fold or staple. So what you want to do is in the printer software, search for the model. And you don't need to type in your whole model. See, look, I just typed in 5850 and it found the right one because we do have a Canon imageRUNNER Advanced C. We have a C5850, but it would also work for this model. And if you have a different model, like a 5250, there's another one, you know? So just pick the right one. Hit OK. All right. Add the printer. It's noticed that I've already added this printer. I do so love adding it, so I'm going to click Continue. It won't give you this error unless you've added the printer in the past unsuccessfully, but either way, just say Continue. All right, now we're going to go back over here to the printer we just added. We're going to click on it in the settings, printers and scanners, settings, and we're going to go to options and supplies. This is a very important step. Go to options. Notice all of this stuff is turned off. That's because not every copier has these features. But if you want to do folding and stapling and you know that your copier has these features, you got to go in here and turn them on. So paper source options. I know we have a high capacity cassette, so I'm going to click that. I know we have a paper deck unit. Output options. We have a booklet finisher, so I'm going to select that. It folds and it makes booklets. And then a copy tray. We have one of those. Puncher. It's a 2 or 3 hole puncher. And then paper folding unit. We have one of those. So if you don't turn these things on, the driver doesn't know that your printer has them, and so you'll never get access to them. Hit OK with those. Going to hit OK. And that's it. That's how you set the printer up. And if you want to more or less make sure that you've succeeded, what you're going to want to do is try printing something that needs these special settings. So let's do Word. And I have made a fun little Word document for exactly this purpose. Let's see here. There's 2 different ways to do folded things. You can do them like this, where it's wide, and this book would fold up like a laptop, or you can do it sideways and it'll fold open like a book. So we're going to go print this thing. I used Command Print to open this window. Now you got to make sure that you have the right thing picked, because if you pick just a whatever printer like this Epson, the Epson can't fold things, and so it will go badly for you. Make sure you pick the copier that you set up. Once you've picked the copier you set up, scroll down here to printer options. Scroll down some more. Finishing, very important. Very important. So it's already set up for booklet style printing because I've been messing with this, but if it starts at 2-sided printing, you really want to click booklet printing if you want to print like a booklet. And then saddle stitch is just when the booklet is stapled in the middle so that it folds like a book. So you can do a fold and saddle stitch. So you see the little red things like a stitch right there. Now there's other things you can do. The other important thing to do is if you want to use a lot of the advanced folding features of these printers, you need to have one of your trays set up for rotated mode, or letter R. In our case, tray 2 has paper that's letter R. Letter paper is paper that's just inserted it's inserted kind of with the short side in front of you. Letter R is inserted with the wide side in front of you, and that matters because the printer, in our case, needs it to be inserted sideways. So it needs it to be letter R, LTR, and then like a little box with R. So ours is in drawer 2, so make sure that's right. And then there's other special features, but those are the ones that matter for us. And then we hit print, and we would get a cool little booklet. Let me just do a quick. Let me just show you really quick the letter R stuff. So as you can see in this little diagram here, if the paper is in the landscape orientation, it has an R at the end. So this would be A4R because it's an A4 piece of paper rotated. Normally it's in the portrait orientation. So just whatever it is, A4, it's normal. Now letter paper is the size we usually have. So this would be how you put letter paper into the printer if it's just normal. And this is how you put it in if it's letter R. And this is the configuration you need for booklet folding. And that's it. Now you're all set up to use the Canon copier.